Hello everybody, this is Monster Tamer Bloba coming at you with another video. This time we'll be doing something I've never done before. Monster overview video. So any feedback you have for this type of video will be very helpful to me. I figured we'd start off with what has to be my favorite monster, both from a lore standpoint and a gameplay standpoint in Monster Sanctuary so far. The Imori. I figure we should start off with some lore here. Bio for the Imori. Imoris are courageous, armor-clad lizard warriors with a strong sense of honor. An Imori makes a great bodyguard who will fight to defend their charge even when they are outnumbered. Imori's techniques aim to gradually injure and weaken the enemy with quick spear jabs. Their strikes are so fast and precise, it takes several seconds for their foes to realize they've been wounded. Their history is, according to folklore, Imoris were the spirits of fallen warriors who were turned into lizards. Perhaps that was true for the first of their kind, but the Imoris developed their own culture, living in small villages deep inside tropical forests and mountain ranges. It is known that many lords and kings recruited Imoris as personal bodyguards over time. Humans preferred to rely on their own resources, while the services that the Imoris once provided for them became the stuff of distant legends. Still, the lords of the area that is homeland to the Imoris always had great respect for them. When the Monster Sanctuary was created, the current lords sent a formal letter to the monster keepers politely asking them to take care of the Imori. As for where you can find these guys, you can find them roaming around the Sun Palace. They're not an uncommon sight. It shouldn't take too long for you to find them. I find that in this particular area here, the map, they spawn all the time here, and it's not even that uncommon when you see groups of 3 of them in the same spot here. The Imori's Explorer ability is Ignite. This power lets you burn vines and kindle torches and activate fire orbs around the world. So when you find torches like these, or fire orbs or vines blocking your path, you can ignite those, and it overall makes it a very handy and useful Explorer ability to have around and have into your kit. We can see here that the Imori is a reptile warrior type with an earth weakness and a fire resistance. This is something to keep in mind, as most of the time Imori has low health and defense. So if you're going to fight something that you are weak to, make sure you either have a strong shield or a protect ability on your Imori to keep them alive and in the fight. Next we have the skill tree. Starting here, you can see this skill tree focuses mostly on ice, with a little bit of an extra bonus for crits and exploiting your enemy's weakness, which is something the Imori is very good at. And this is a more generalist tree, focusing less on specific attributes and more on just most buffing the Imori themselves. This tree splits between fire and bleed, combining them together to make some pretty devastating combos. This tree on the far right is a utility tree, filled with abilities that can turn your Imori into a pretty strong buffer in borderline off-tank. As for their stats, the Imori come with a base stats of 8 attack, 1 magic, 2 health, 5 defense, and 6 mana. With stats like these, you can see that the Imori are well suited for a strong DPS role. We need physical damage, but they have no magic attack. I found it useful to increase their mana as well. With their health stat being as low as it is, I just find it better to make them a glass cannon and protect them with a good tank. As far as shifts go, we have the light shifted, which gives you a +1 to everything except magic, which is fine because the magic stat they never use anyways. It just makes them overall better at doing their job as a glass cannon, while giving them just a small amount of extra survivability. It helps them stop them from getting one-shotted. Light shifted power is Enlightened. Whenever this monster receives a buff, 60% chance to share the buff with an allied monster. Once again, a good DPS power. So when you want to buff them up, you have a good chance to spread it around. Overall, the light shifted is a strong upgrade to your DPS. As for the dark shifted, which is what I personally prefer, you gain +2 attack and mana, as well as a +1 defense. The shadow shift leans full on into being a full DPS glass cannon. These stats with the new power debuff mastery that lets you apply additional stack of any debuff although the additional attacks are only half strong. Makes your Imori a true terror on the battlefield, so long as that you can protect them. As for the evolutions, at the time of recording, I'm not aware of any Imori evolutions that are in the game at the moment. The loot drops for their common is leather and iron, with their rare being Crimson Gem and the reward box level 1. And for some build ideas, I had to help you build your Imori into something interesting. The Debuff Master. For this skill, you want a dark shifted Imori. The most important build for this is Congeal. This will allow you to combo all of these chill effects that you can apply with abilities like cooling and such to make it do damage as well as mana, health damage as well as mana damage. After you grab Congeal, focus on grabbing either Burning Heat and Chilling Cold, as they allow you to stack your debuffs while dealing damage. Next, you'll want to grab these two here, Kindle and Cooling, because they do the same thing but slightly weaker. You know, and then Antipode, as well as pretty much any fire and ice attack that you can find. This will overall give you a good variety of attacks to choose from to fight people who are weak to both water and fire, and apply cooling and burn with surprising frequently. Once you have all of these, I would say you can start grabbing other buffs that work well with your team. One I would recommend, even without other reptiles, would be Acid Spit here. Just because that with all the hits you're going to be doing, you will likely apply Poison or Burn on these hits more often than not. When you have hits like this that do 5 hits and 5 hits and so on and so forth, most of your higher level abilities will be doing times 5 hits, and with your AoEs, obviously, that will be spread out across multiple different people, giving you a better chance as well. The next build I want to suggest, I named Lizard of Light. As the name suggests, this build uses light shifted version. With this, you want to stack a very high defense, and you'll be attacking as a strong support. Start by taking every tree in this support tree here other than the crit damage plus. Grab every HP and defense skill up in every tree you can find, along with the defense proc skills like this. Now you want to work your way down the long slash tree, grabbing each of these and taking the bleed related skills such as Feast and Deep Wounds. Make sure you grab Buff Catalyst at the end. That's going to be an important part of the build. Exploit is something else I would suggest that you pick up on your way to Antitoxins here. Exploit will help you continue stacking more buffs. After that, I would suggest grabbing a mixed bag of elemental attacks and variety. Double Impact can also help, and that would be it. You can use any of your other skill points you might have left over, fill in the gaps of your team. The general idea behind this is going to be when you're popping things like full utility and buff catalyst, along with getting more buffs from exploit, you will basically have no problem getting your buffs to maximum almost without trying. And you can even share those buffs with a few of your other people. As for the defense, the reason I say get defense, because with this build, you want to get defense focus and defense proc, because you're not going to be focusing on these other attacks, and it'll be nice to help you keep you alive a little bit longer and become, as I said, kind of a pseudo off tank. But with that, I think we've covered everything I wanted to say about Imori. I hope you all enjoyed, and please leave me a comment telling me on how I did. This is my first ever video on this type of explanation video, so feedback is appreciated. Until next time, this is Tamer Bloba signing off, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye.